Hello, everyone, and happy Friday to you all. It's me, Brian Jew, and you're listening to The Drive-In on TBS efm. I'm actually really happy and sad at the same time. I'm happy because Christmas is a little over 2 weeks away, and I'm actually sad because I tweeted earlier that I had a bad dream. It was really scary, actually. It was like the end of the world type of dream. I don't want to get into detail, but I'm glad I'm here to get my mind off of things. You know what? I was tossing and turning all night, didn't get a full night's rest of sleep. But here I'm going to get all rejuvenated and talk about fun movies. And did you know today, December 7th, a day that will live in infamy? You know what I'm talking about, right? Because that was my President Roosevelt impression. And yes, today's a day. In 1941, Japan attacked Hawaii, which brought the U.S. into the World War II. Well, actually, we've got another day before that happens because it actually happened on December 7th in Hawaii time, not Korea time. But being that the 71st anniversary of Pearl Harbor, you can start the show off with a song from Pearl Harbor, the movie, that came out in 2002. And here's Faith Hill with There You'll Be. Once again, that was Faith Hill from the Pearl Harbor soundtrack with There You'll Be. And I want to read some Twitter comments for you guys right now. Serena Chongward, always love this song. Thanks for playing this nice song to start our beautiful day. Yeah, beautiful in maybe Singapore and Malaysia. Right now in Korea, it's snowing. It's cold outside. Yes, like I said a few days ago, I spoke too soon, and now I think I cursed Korea with all this snow. But hopefully, it'll slow down, I know, because it's really bad for people like me who drive in this weather. Yesterday, I tried doing it, and it's cold, too, so then the roads will freeze, and then you start slipping and sliding around. Anyways, another comment from Melanie S. One day, I'd like to listen to EFM Drive-In while at a drive-in, or at the studio. That counts as a drive-in, right? Yeah. That does, because if you're literally here and you're listening to us, that counts as the drive-in because you're actually at the drive-in, get it? Anyway, another one's from May Ann. She said, not feeling well, injured, maybe my legs at the hospital, but, wow, my favorite song, There You'll Be, sweet. See? We didn't know that you were sick or injured, but see, we're here to brighten up your day. Listen to the music and just smile. Alrighty, and I just want to let you guys know, for you guys listening right now, if you guys are curious about how to get in contact with us as well, you can tweet like these fans did. Our Twitter is at EFM Drive-In, or call the studio at 02778-1013. Text us at #1013 for a charge of 51, or simply send us an email at efmdrivein@gmail.com. That's efmdrivein@gmail.com. Make sure your songs are from a movie or a TV show, and just send us a shout out if you want to. That means a lot to us too. Since the holidays are coming up, you could be like, Merry Christmas, y'all. Anyways, now it's time for the scene of the day. Here at the Drive-In, we've been talking a lot about Christmas, and we got to recognize that not everyone in the world is Christian, although I am. And December also has a very important holiday for those of the Jewish faith, and it starts tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow's the first day of Hanukkah. And a lot of people in Korea may not know much about Hanukkah. It's a celebration of the rededication of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, which happened in the 2nd century BC and is often translated as the Festival of Lights. And it lasts 8 days long. See, I always thought my Jewish friends were lucky because growing up, I would see them bring these little gifts from the house, from their parents, because they would get gifts for 8 days straight. But those of us who celebrate Christmas only get one gift. But if you think about it, we get that 1 day of gifts from other people. They only got one gift per day for 8 days. So, unless I got my information wrong. So, for you guys who are celebrating Hanukkah tomorrow, congratulations. I don't know what to say. I don't know the Hanukkah term. It's not like Merry Christmas. And I just want to get to the actual scene of the day today. I went off about Hanukkah, which comes from a movie called 8 Crazy Nights, which was released in 2002. It's an animated movie, and the main character is voiced by Adam Sandler. He also directed and produced the movie himself, and it's also a musical. Yes. And in the film, Adam Sandler's voice is the voice of Davy Stone, who also gets depressed on the holidays because he lost his parents when he was just a kid, and he hasn't had a great childhood ever since high school, and he's been in trouble with the law and everything. The film opens with a narration. Davy is alone on the first night of Hanukkah in a Chinese restaurant, and is very depressed and drowning himself in alcohol. I don't know if that's good, but let's listen to the beginning of the story right now. Aw, poor Davy. He's all alone on Hanukkah. Aw, no one seems to care about him. He sits there burping. Like, who does that? You're so bored and lonely that you have a world record for burping? That's kind of sad. And everyone needs to have sympathy for all those who are lonely on the holidays, you know? Don't let them be in a restaurant or a coffee shop burping. If you see that happening, go over there and say, happy holidays. Give them a hug. So sad. Anyway, Davey does have a chance for redemption, and he starts to coach the local boys basketball team. And he meets a woman who he used to go to high school with. Ooh, who has a son that plays on his team. Also, even though he is so mean to everyone, there's an old man who's very nice to him. I won't spoil the ending for you guys right now, because if I do, you won't want to watch it. But just that clip alone with the whole burping, everything, should actually attract you guys, because you know it's going to be a funny movie. It's not going to be too serious. There's going to be some funny clips in it. And also the Saturday Night Live cast from the 1990 Saturday Night Live cast is in this movie as well. So you know it's going to be hilarious. So let's take a listen from this film. Here's the Hanukkah song. Check it out.
Happy, 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 happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy, happy Hanukkah. Yes, that was the Hanukkah song sung by Adam Sandler himself. That's a funny song. I never actually heard that song. I heard the song that he did, the Thanksgiving song. A turkey for me and a turkey for you. That one. That's hilarious. That came out way back when, too, when I was in high school, I believe. Yes. And this song is almost just as old. It's hilarious, though. I'm going to check out the whole song later on, again, alone, and study the lyrics. Anyways, I want to let you guys know what's coming up on today's show. It's now playing Friday, so after intermission, Mr. Eugene Hwang will be in the studio to go over the top 5 movies in Korea, ATM, at the moment, yes. But, of course, that's after intermission, so stick around for that if you want to hear what the top 5 films. But right now, I want to talk about a song that I want to play. But before I do that, there's so many things to talk about. I'm going to read some messages because so many fans are writing so many Twitter comments online, emails, all this time, all this stuff all the time. And I don't want to neglect the Korean fans either, because you guys are listening right now. So we have one from I Love Brian. So Santa Brian님 선물 주세요, which is basically she's asking me, Santa Brian, please send me a gift. But I don't give out gifts. I don't have a sleigh. I don't go and dun 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 dun. Here you go. I can't do that. Maybe I should be like Adam Sandler and make a Christmas song, the Korean version of it, and just making funny and put like people's names in it. Just name drop everybody. I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, we have one from BFF Jaywalker's Asiatic. She goes, I remember the Hanukkah song. Hilarious. Exactly. It's a funny song. I hope people don't take it too serious. Ongni D wrote, I request Through the Fire by Larry Green from Top Gun. Your frightened dream last night. Don't tell you saw me. Ha ha ha. Of course I didn't see you. If I saw you, you'd be like an angel. Yes. I actually didn't see anyone. That's what was scary about my dream last night. It was really frightening. Also, we have one from May Ann. She's like, Hanukkah, yes, you have right candles, you have activities, and stuff with the family. May Ann's Twitter comments sometimes confuse me because there's no periods or... Yes, and I just keep reading it on and on. Sorry, May Ann. Yes, I make it sound like it doesn't make sense, but that's my fault. I have to learn how to read Twitter comments better. Anyways, we have a song for you guys right now, and it's from a very, very funny Christmas film. I call it a Christmas film because it has to do with these little midget people, but ironically, one midget person who helps Santa Claus is actually a full-grown, tall person, a natural tall person, even taller than me. And I'm talking about the movie Elf that came out in 2003, and this is Lena Holmes singing, Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Check it out. That was Lena Holmes with Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow from the 2003 film Elf, which starred Will Ferrell. Yes, Will Ferrell's a very funny guy, if you guys like him. I prefer Jim Carrey. I think Jim Carrey's a funnier person. So right now I'm going to read some more Twitter comments. Yes, this is from Cassie. She wrote, Hi, Brian. I'm tuning in from Canada, and your voice is so nice to hear this evening. So calming. Oh, is it? Thank you very much, Cassie. I'm going to speak with a very soothing and subtle voice for you, because it's the evening for you. You should be having a nice glass of wine and relaxing. Because that's what I do. There you go. I got loud again. We also have one from Claire. She went, movie Elf. Haha, I want to watch it again. Yes, it's perfect right now. I would recommend you guys to wrap up all the good holiday movies in a DVD set box or whatever you call it. Sit in front of the TV and just play them back to back. You can't watch them all in one day, but I mean, play them like it's Hanukkah tomorrow. So for the next 8 days, you can watch Christmas movies on DVD. There you go. Good recommendation from Brian Jew. I know Hanukkah and Christmas are two different holidays, but I'm just saying, hey, we can make, everyone always has fusion food these days. Well, I'm making a fusion holiday. What? Don't hate me because you ain't me. Anyways, I want to talk about the next song request. The song request is by Mariko, who wants to hear Do You Hear the People Sing from the musical version of Les Miserables. And I can't wait to see the new Les Miserables film that's going to come out soon with Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway. Both are one of my favorite male and female actors. Hugh Jackman, been a fan of it since the X-Men days. And Anne Hathaway, she's just a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. And yes, her physique is marvelous. And she's a great actress. And there's something about the Revolution that gets me and everybody all wrapped up in the story. And you just want to know what happens. I saw Les Mis on Broadway when I was younger. But now I want to see the movie version of it because it's got my two favorite actors. So, this is for you, Mariko. This is the song from the Les Miserables musical version. And this is Do You Hear the People Sing? Welcome back to The Drive-In. And now it's Now Playing Fridays with Eugene.
Says Brian as he's messing with his iPhone 5. I'm so jealous of you. I wish I could get that for Christmas.
Oh, you don't have the new phones?
No, it hasn't been released in Korea yet, right?
Okay, fine. For Christmas, then, I will get you nothing.
You get me a picture of you using your iPhone 5.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my bad.
All right, well, I'll keep that in mind. Christmas is coming up, so I gotta make a list of gifts for people. But anyway, it's Now Playing Fridays, and I know people are wondering what movies are popular right now.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get into that. Before we get into that, though, you asked, or you said it earlier, you don't know what the common greeting for is on Hanukkah, right?
Yeah, what's the actual word or term?
So I looked it up, and in Yiddish, which is the language that many Hebrew people speak, you're supposed to say Hanukkah Sameach. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
You made it sound so Japanese. Hanukkah Sameach. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Anyway,
Hanukkah Sameach?
I did. Well, it's spelled Sameach, so I assume it's Sameach or Sameach. I'm not sure.
Isn't it Hanukkah Sameach?
That might be possible. I don't know. I grew up in a mostly Jewish community when I was a kid.
You know what? If you never told me you were half Korean,
yeah,
you could be mistaken to be Jewish.
Well, I was mistaken for Jewish all the time. When in my neighborhood, people would be like, "Who's your father?" And I'd say, "His name is Byung-young." I don't think you know.
Luke, I'm your father.
Yeah. Right, but we just used to say Happy Hanukkah, and they'd reply back Merry Christmas. So I mean, nothing major like that where we would know.
Well, growing up in Jersey too, there's a lot of Jewish people.
Oh, right.
That I went to school with because we had like Hebrew academies around our area.
Oh yeah.
And I remember hanging out with friends in those areas, and I remember for the first time I played with the dreidel, and I called the dreidel top, and my friend got mad at me. I didn't know. I was young. I was like 5.
Kind of I don't know why top would. Dreidel's like what it's called in their language, right? I guess. So
dreidel is like the traditional, I guess. Hebrew
well, it's like a spinning top with 4 different Hebrew letters on it, and depending on what comes up, is you gamble for candy basically, and if you have one other thing comes up, you take all the candy in the center, and if another thing comes up, you got to put 2 of your candies in the center.
Yeah, it's like a candy gambling top game.
Yeah, and then later when they grow up,
or maybe they're upset because I called it a top, and top's part of Big Bang. Oops, bad joke, bad joke.
Wow, stop. Big Bang.
Hammer time. Every time you see me.
All right, let's get into the top 5 movies, I guess.
Alrighty.
So at number 5, this is Confession of a Murder, and it is at 9.1% of the audience last weekend.
Wow.
Again, we've talked about this 3 times, and it's actually pushed Masquerade out of the number 5 spot by moving down itself. So Masquerade, remember, it was in for so long, is finally not in the top 5. It's at number 8 today. So Confession of a Murder, of course, is the one about an author who writes about all the things he used to do in the past where he claims to have killed somebody, but then other people have also... They
start showing up and saying, I did it. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't see the movie yet, but I know the storyline. I'm going to watch this. I definitely want to see this movie.
Yeah, it seems really interesting. I can't put my head around why anybody would really want to admit to murdering someone.
Maybe they're just really proud about it. It's like me, like... When you're working out, you want to admit that you lifted a certain amount of weights. And then someone's like, no, I did it. No, I did it.
But, working out isn't illegal. Killing people is. You could go to jail for that.
That is true. But then at the same time, maybe in their mind, it's different. For me,
Well, I guess, yeah, you are proud of your work and you want to show off. But, I mean, I guess if you're an author, you could do that because it would sell more books, right? Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the other people, what they just want to discredit the author would be their motivation, I guess. I mean, that doesn't really make sense to me. Of course, I would never murder anyone. But if I did, I wouldn't write a book and tell everyone, right?
I love how you said, I wouldn't murder anyone, and you look right at me. Bum, ba, bum, bum.
Don't worry, Brian. All your Rabbit fans would come out of the woodwork and kill me if I were to murder you. So don't worry about that. I'm not going to murder you.
You guys, I know Eugene's address, so just text me anytime.
Well, they know the TBS address. All right, let's go on to number 4. 4. Okay, number 4. This is Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. And this has 10.7% of the audience. We've talked about Twilight extensively, I think. Basically another vampire story. There's a baby in it. Somebody who used to be a vampire, or used to be a human, is now a vampire, and there's a love triangle and all of that. Have I summed it up good enough? What do you think?
Pretty much. Did you see this movie?
I still haven't seen. I haven't seen the first one even.
Out of the Twilight movies, this has to be the actual best one. I enjoyed watching this, and the song. I keep talking about the song from this movie. I know a lot of you know this song, the lyrics.
Yeah.
If you say this to any girl, they will melt. The day we met, frozen, I hold my breath, because I knew from the start that I found a home for my heart.
Ooh,
oh, that's so sweet!
Oh, Brian. Wow.
Could you imagine? Yeah. I knew from the start when I met you, I found a home for my
heart. That's a good pickup line.
It's such a sweet line.
It's much better than, like, are you okay since you fell? What are you talking about? Since you fell from heaven or something?
But no, if you actually hear it with the way the song is composed,
right, yeah.
It's so pretty.
Okay.
Christina Perri did justice to that song.
I do think this is the best Twilight movie. You know why?
Why?
Because it's the last one, and we don't have to hear about Twilight for
for you Twilight lovers out there, that was Eugene Huang. I enjoyed Twilight, so you can send him all the hate tweets. So I'm just joking.
No, I'm probably sure I would like it. It's just the fact that everybody, you know, when people like something too much, I tend not to like it. Like the same thing with Titanic. It took me 6 or 7 years to actually watch that after it came out because everyone was like,
"But did you enjoy it?"
Yeah, I did actually.
See?
And then the same thing with Harry Potter. I still haven't seen all of those movies, and it was just because there's so much hype around it. I guess I'm kind of a hipster in that
I'm going to
way.
give you a heads up and a warning. You do not want to get Twilight box set and sit there at home and watch them all. Then you're going to get mad at me.
Yeah, I'd also, that would take like a week, I would think, right?
Yes, because the movies are like 2 hours and 30 minutes long each film, I think.
Yeah, so who has time for that? No, I'm just playing. I'm sure a lot of people like it. So maybe I'll check that out later.
Okay.
Maybe 5 or 6 years down the road when I'm old.
All right.
Let's go on to number 3. Okay, this has 12.8% of the audience. This is Werewolf Boy. And this is the one about the teenage girl in the 1960s who meets a feral teenage boy who grows up to be a werewolf, and all the people in town hate him. Our producer actually said that she did watch this movie, and she said, well, some people might like it, but
what was your personal opinion? Did you like the movie?
It wasn't the greatest.
So she wasn't the biggest fan.
Yeah, she's not saying it was terrible, but said it wasn't the greatest that she's ever seen.
But every critic says this. Every critic says this. They say every person is a critic. So you have your own opinion on things.
Of course.
Because I might see the movie and be like, oh my gosh, it was the best movie of the year, which I know I'm not going to say. Mm-hmm. But Werewolf Boy, just the name of itself doesn't attract me to go want to see the movie.
Well, I mean, it's a translation of the Korean title, obviously.
I saw the Korean title, too. It doesn't attract me.
Okay, I see
it's
what
basically
you're saying.
saying like a wolf boy or werewolf boy. It doesn't...
Yeah.
You know, like Twilight. Like, Twilight doesn't attract me either. But I only saw it because a group of my friends went, and I just ended up liking it. So.
Well, I mean, the premise of it is pretty interesting. The fact that you'd expect the wolf to be ferocious and running around killing people, but that's actually not the case. It's really the townspeople that are, kind of scaring the wolf, right? So that's kind of interesting. And there's a scene in the end of it where the
don't give it away.
Okay. Good. Well, anyway, it's about reclaiming your lost love and everything. So,
I just saw what number 2 is going to be. So let's say number 2 because I actually wanted to see this movie.
Number 2. That was awesome. That's cool. He self-auto-tuned himself. That was great. Rise of the Guardians is number 2. This has 15%. It's up 5 spots from last week, actually, which is pretty amazing. It's a movie with all the mythological characters from your childhood, like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and Jack Frost and the Tooth Fairy and the Sandman. And to all you kids out there, they're totally real, all of them, all right?
Oh, this is what the movie's about?
Yeah. And
I gotta see this.
They're all fighting against the Boogeyman. So,
this gotta be fun.
Can you imagine Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny working together to take on the Boogeyman? That'd be awesome, right? But
that'd be like Boogie Nights. Get it? Because it's nighttime, they travel the world and they're catching the boogeyman. So,
Well,
bad
they're
joke.
catching something else, I guess.
Bad joke.
But yeah, this is pretty cool because all these different mythological characters, their voices are Chris Pine, Alec Baldwin, Hugh Jackman, Isla Fisher, Jude Law. It's great voice actors. Right?
Exactly.
And also, if you could put up any team of your favorite heroes from different universes, you could do anything. I mean, I'm just glad they're doing it with all these people. So I would recommend seeing this, especially if you are a fan of all the childhood heroes, right?
I love the childhood heroes.
Of course. And Santa Claus is totally real, so it's totally appropriate for this time of the season.
Are you trying to tell people out there that Santa Claus does not exist? He does, because every year around this time, you go to the malls, he's sitting in a big red chair.
Yeah,
that is the real
he
Santa.
He can be in many different places at once. All right, let's go on to number one. Okay, this is actually an interesting movie called 26 Years, which I know you talked with Jason Betchervais about this movie extensively. It says 32.8% of the audience, right? And this is about the Gwangju Massacre, which took place in 1980. Well, actually, the movie's not about that. It's about people who survived that, and then they wanted to assassinate the person who did it.
Yeah.
So if you don't know a lot about the history in 1980, then basically Chun Doo-hwan was the president, and he ordered that they suppress the uprising in Gwangju. A lot of people died, and then in the movie they're plotting 20 years later or something. I guess 26 years later, they're plotting to assassinate Chun Doo-hwan, who still lives in Seoul right now. He lives in Yeonhidong actually. So. Okay. It's kind of weird that they would make a movie about killing someone who's still alive, like a political figure like that. I would investigate that, actually. It's kind of scary, wouldn't you think?
It's very scary.
Yeah, so I don't know. But anyway, because we've had songs from all of these movies in here already, I thought it would be different to, because you're always saying, this is my show, I'm going to do what we want. So I'm going to say, well, we got to get the listeners to do what they want. And this song was actually requested by 4 different people. It's Serena, Jade Yam, Ongli, Brian Ju Singapore, and I believe 3382 or 3882. And this is the song, All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey.
Yes.
From the Love
Actually soundtrack. Dedicated to me.
Woo.
All I Want for Christmas from the Love Actually soundtrack. That version was not from Mariah Carey. That was the young little actress in the movie.
That's
sings
true.
At was it the talent show? The Christmas
it was
talent
the
show?
school talent show
Okay.
that everybody's kids seemed to be in. Like the prime minister, sister's kids were in there and everything.
And Hugh Grant, who played the prime minister, was there watching.
Yeah, everybody in the whole.
Actually, no, they were in the
movie
back
was-
kissing.
They were behind the stage. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
That is such a good movie.
It's a great movie. It's a very loving movie.
But you know something interesting? That only has a 62% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which means that sometimes you can't really trust that site.
I don't trust any ratings on that site because there's been times where they said that a movie was great and I hated a movie.
I think the thing is, most of the people who rate the movies on that site are Americans, and this is a British movie, so maybe they thought there were some kind of parts where they were making fun of America in there. I guess that, how dare you make fun of America, the greatest country in the world, So that might be why they didn't like it so much.
Too much
people
pride
need
in your
to,
countries.
yeah, exactly. They need
Just
to-
spread love all around. That's what's important.
and because Christmas is all around.
Christmas is here at TBS efm. Anyways,
Yeah.
now it's gonna be playing Fridays.
Exactly, and we got to
So, what's
talk
new?
about a new movie. I'm going to talk about The Hobbit today.
Oh, you're gonna talk about me. That was my nickname for a while.
Oh, that's so
Especially
bad.
in our CrossFit team.
Yeah?
Because I'm like one of the shortest guys. I guess some of them call me a hobbit.
Aw. Well,
that's
do
why-
you have hairy toes? I mean, I'm just kidding.
Actually, I'm going to admit this on air. Yes, I have some hair on my toes. Everyone does. All dudes
of
do.
course, of course.
So my nickname, my friends in high school used to call me Hobbit as well. But back then, the movie never came out, so they only assumed from the characters from the books.
Right. Now, if you might remember, The Hobbit is also part of the Lord of the Rings storyline, I guess.
Of course.
But this is
It's
not...
a prequel, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a prequel. It's not a sequel. It's set 60 years before Lord of the Rings. And
Whoa.
the story is about the Hobbit Bilbo Baggins, which is played by Martin Freeman. He's hired by the wizard Gandalf, which is reprised by Ian McKellen, to accompany 13 dwarves led by Thorin Oakenshield on a quest across Middle-earth to reclaim the Lonely Mountain from Smaug the Dragon. So, yeah, you know what, honestly, like, I saw the Lord of the Rings movies.
You didn't like it?
The first one was just too long. I was on a date on the first one, right?
Well, you do not take a girl on a date to watch Lord of the Rings. You gotta take them to a romantic comedy film.
It was the first
Am I not
date.
right, PD Neem?
Probably.
Right.
You are right, because I didn't get a second date. It was the first date.
Exactly. It's like taking a girl to a horror movie. A girl's gonna be like, this guy's crazy because he took me to a gory film. You want to make the vibe right. Look, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start, you know what? Starting tomorrow, or Monday, the drive is not gonna be about movies. It's gonna be
Dating
romantic
advice.
dating advice. We should do a dating advice.
Well,
program.
I'm married now, so I don't really need it. But at the time, I probably could have used it, you know, because she kept we were watching the movie. She kept getting up every 3 seconds, and she's like, "Oh."
Because to be honest, if you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, that
Yeah.
movie could be really long and boring.
It was for both of us actually, and we were like, should we leave?
It was boring for you too, and you're so weird.
I just really didn't like it, and the next two I didn't really even bother to see. I think Elijah Wood is a great actor, though.
He's a great actor.
And he's also reprising his role in this, but the role is much smaller because The Hobbit centers around Bilbo Baggins, which is, I guess, his uncle or his
A relative.
a relative of his,
Yes.
I guess. And this one was pretty expensive to make, and they made three at the same time. Just like when they made Lord of the Rings, they made all three of them at the same time. So
Oh, they're coming out with 3 of these too?
they will come out with 3 of these. They're already
Awesome.
finished making all of them. This cost $270 million for the first segment. And then the next 2 are also going to cost $270 million.
I'm actually not happy that they made 3 movies already.
Why is
Because I
that?
wanted to be a part of it. They need an Asian Hobbit in a film, and I'm perfect because the height's perfect.
Yeah, hobbits. I guess the hobbits are racist, right? No. So the second installment is called The Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug, and the third one is called The Hobbit: There and Back Again, and that'll be out in 2013 and 2014. So you can expect it really soon. And of course, the cast is all the same people who were in Lord of the Rings, if that's possible. Like Hugo Weaving is in there again as Elrond, the elf. Elijah Wood is Frodo Baggins. There's probably going to be a lot of other people in there too, I would think.
Who plays Gollum?
Andy Serkis. So I think it's the same person.
Same guy, yeah.
Yeah, same guy. And
I saw the
Gollum is a
previews.
good character, and
In this one, he's a good character, right?
well, I guess it's just going to show you how he becomes the Gollum, I would assume.
Okay.
I'm not sure because I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan, honestly. But I already told you about the basic plot.
I'm not looking at you anymore.
Why?
Notice I'm not even staring at you. Because
Oh.
Lord of the Rings, that's one.
Did you really like Lord of the Rings?
Way better than Harry Potter.
Well, I didn't like Harry Potter either. Well, okay, if you compare
We have no connection.
Star Wars versus Lord of the Rings, which one do you like better? Come on.
I never was a Star Wars
Oh.
or Star Trek fan. I don't like sci-fi that much. I'm sorry.
This is sci-fi.
That's not like sci-fi. That's not like space sci-fi.
Oh, okay, it's fantasy
It's
sci-fi,
not like,
I guess.
Luke, I'm your father. Oh, man, that's mumbo jumbo to me. I'm
All right,
sorry.
but if you talk about the Lord of the Rings movies, what really happened during them? Nothing. They walk to the volcano and drop the ring in. That's it.
What happened in Star Wars?
Lots of stuff. How much time do you have? I mean, we could talk about this
All right,
for
this
a
is
week.
my show. I'm wrapping it up. I don't want to hear Eugene talk.
All right,
Wrap it up, Eugene.
All right, this movie will. I will wrap it up right now. This movie will come out next Thursday on the 13th of December. So if you really, really want to watch this movie,
I'm gonna be there.
Okay,
gonna
let's
watch
go.
it.
Let's go together, and you can show me why it's superior to Star Wars.
Are you
How
one of
about
those
that?
people who talk during the movie? This
Of
scene
course
sucks.
not.
I don't like this scene.
Of course not.
All right, good.
All right, so we'll go together. So look out for that next Thursday, and I guess the next song from the Lord of the Rings trio or trilogy. This is Enya with "Into the West," and I will see you next week.
Yes,
on
get out.
Wednesday.
Get out till next week.
Brian, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that?
I'll see you next week.
All right.